Hello everyone, welcome back to another Doctor Who review. Today we are talking about Season 1, Episode 3, Boom! And Stephen Moffat, you son of a bitch! Stephen Moffat is my favorite Doctor Who writer. I know a lot of people in the comments are probably upset with me right now, which I understand. Everyone has flaws with their writing, but of all of the Doctor Who I've watched, Stephen Moffat is just my favorite. I love his storytelling, I loved when he was showrunner, and I loved his just individual episodes when he was writing for the RTD1 era. And he has just delivered us the best episode of the revitalized Doctor Who so far. When I say revitalized, I mean from 2023 on, because they restarted the season number. By the way, I will be spoiling the episode, so if you haven't watched it, go back and then come back and watch this review. There will be spoilers. This episode just does everything great. Like, right off the bat, you're building really interesting backstories and new characters to kind of kick off the story and where we're at, so when the Doctor and Ruby walk into the situation, we, as the audience, know what they're walking into. Fortunately, they don't. And to me, Ncuti Gatwa got his first I am the Doctor moment without even really saying I am the Doctor. His performance in this episode is so fucking good. You know, whenever you watch Doctor Who, whether it be the classic series or the 2005 revitalization, there are very few moments in the Doctor's life where he or she is legitimately afraid, to where they personally believe that they might not make it out of this situation. And in Ncuti Gatwa's performance, you totally buy that the Doctor is afraid and very well could think that this could be it for them, that they could die in this moment. And as a viewer who has followed Doctor Who for a long time, if the performance and the story can make you believe that, it's very edge-of-your-seat intense, which the entire episode is. The suspense, the intensity, awesome. The episode also got to see kind of the dark side of the Doctor for Ruby to see, because she hadn't really seen this side of him yet. That was interesting to see. The episode was also incredibly emotional. The little girl, when she's looking for her father, who we see at the beginning of the episode, is killed, and she hears his voice from the hologram, and she runs up and tells Ruby and the Doctor, like, hey, I'm looking for my daddy. Have you seen him? The sad look on their faces, it just speaks so much. And even the Doctor, being the Doctor, just trying to save situation, saying like, oh, this is Ruby, I'm the Doctor, like trying his best, and just kind of watching it unfold was so tragic. And I talked about, really good kind of political undertones in the other two episodes. This one also takes the cake, talking about just like, late stage capitalism with war and the church getting involved in war, which Stephen Moffat's done before in older episodes. The one that comes to mind is A Good Man Goes to War. And there's a great line at the end of the episode where the Doctor kind of tells the little girl, like, to, keep the faith. And the one warrior says, I thought you didn't like faith. And the Doctor says, just because I don't like it doesn't mean I don't need it. And it's just like, God damn, I miss Stephen Moffat so much. I enjoyed the episode so much that I'd really have to watch it again to really point out a lot of the flaws I have with the episode. Because the only one I can think of off the top of my head is that in the climax, when a lot of stuff is happening at once, the rules that were established as to how the ambulance works and how everything works did kind of get a little muddled, where I was just kind of like, they were moving on to the next thing, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go with this, because it almost felt like if we don't explain it, they'll just forget about it. We can move past it. And it worked in the moment, but I feel like upon rewatches, that might kind of be like oh, that doesn't really make sense. But speaking of the ambulance, even kind of the AI subplot here was very profound and interesting. And another Susan Twist appearance. Who the fuck is she? And also something really interesting was the one soldier was played by Varada Sethu, forgive me if I said that wrong, who is going to be the next companion in Season 2. Is it the same character? Is it tied to that character? Or is it kind of like Karen Gillan, Freema Agyeman, where they just had roles in the show previously and then became companions as separate characters? Either way, I'm intrigued. But I will say, when I picked up that it was her, because I'd recognized her because I'd watched Andor, and then I put it together, I was like, wait, that's the next companion. Oh my God. And then Ruby gets shot. And it's so brutal. And I literally thought for a second, like, there's no fucking way that they just offed Ruby and then here's the new companion. I'm like, there's no way that happens. That would have been crazy. To speak to kind of Moffat's skill as a writer, the fact that it's just the third episode and he made the audience believe that something bad really awful could happen to the Doctor and Ruby in episode 3. Just goes to kind of show his testament, because you walk into the 3rd episode of any show and go, well, our 2 lead characters are going to make it out. Like that's always in the back of your mind. The suspense, the intensity, the brilliance, and the subtext, everything you could want out of a great story, this episode has in spades. And I know that Stephen Moffat is also writing the Christmas special this year, and may have been co-written with Russell, I'm not sure. Russell, as if we're on a first-name basis. But he's hinted that he may be done with Doctor Who after that, and that just makes me so sad, man. I love his Doctor Who. He's such a great writer in general, but Doctor Who is like his perfect match. He's so good at it. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. So far, from the 2023 special, starting with the Star Beast, this has been the best episode that they've done. And I'm really looking forward to the rest of the series. I think Russell T Davies wrote all of them except for one more. I think there's another episode that's not written by him. So I'm interested to see how that episode is too. And like I mentioned in the review for episodes 1 and 2, I've loved Doctor Who for years, yet I've never really made videos about it until the most recent reviews. So if you want to see more Doctor Who content, if you want to see me make other Doctor Who videos, please let me know. I would love to make them. Guys, please don't forget to give this video a like and leave a comment. It'll really help us out. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next episode of Doctor Who.